I was kicking my feet the whole time. He's this Italian god, basically, who loves to swim with sharks. One of them is pining like crazy. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be going over my May recap. I've also been acclimating to my work life. I got a job literally the weekend after I graduated. I started working and I've kind of just been getting settled in. So been a little bit on the busier side of things. So I haven't had as much time to film. But with that being said, here we are now. This is not going to be my permanent setup going forward. I'm going to try and film at my parents' place so it's more relaxed and a little bit more bookish or a little bit more cozy, because right now I'm currently at my boyfriend's. But let's get into the May recap. So we're going to start off with the hard recs. I would say this was my favorite book of the month, and it's the only book I read from my May TBR list, and it's going to be This Woven Kingdom. Now, I read it while also listening to the audiobook, so I would switch back and forth just so I could listen to it on the drive to work. So for those of you who don't know, the author of This Woven Kingdom is also the author of the Shatter Me series. So if you've heard about one but haven't heard about the other, I would totally recommend them. They're both pretty good, especially the Shatter Me series. It starts to get better and better as it goes on. It's also very lengthy. This Woven Kingdom follows our main character, Eliza, but Eliza is in hiding, and she happens to find herself crossing paths with the prince of the kingdom she's inhabiting. And from then on, it just goes downhill from there. Her life is thrown into chaos. Now, I will say, for those of you who aren't fans of younger main characters, this is a young adult book. The characters are on the younger side, I think around 17. I could be way off, but I think they're pretty young. This Woven Kingdom is inspired by some things that you would see within Persian mythology, which was really, really cool to read. I don't think I've ever read a Persian mythology inspired book. I feel like it was kind of reminiscent of like a Cinderella story. That's kind of what it felt like to me. And it was also one gripe that I had. It was a little bit too coincidental, but then again, it is YA. We are gonna have an HEA eventually. I do plan on reading the next 2 books, I believe it is, and I believe the series is completed, and I would totally recommend. It's my hardest rec. I'm serious. I will say also, to me, no spice, none. There's a lot of like pining, and the way that Cameron like desires her and thinks about her, because we do get his perspective, is honestly like I loved it. It did feel like sometimes it came out of nowhere, because I feel like a majority of the story we're not meant to focus on the romance. It's more so about the adventure and the journey. So when the romance did appear, I was like, whoa, slow down. The next book is going to be The Roommate Risk. Now y'all, when I was reading this, I felt gorgeous. Like I was like, wow, like really, like that's how he sees her. Like wow. So we are following Jasmine, our main female character, and Rahul. I feel like it's rare to find a book that shows so much love towards like, you know, like a black woman the way that they do in this book. Like he is obsessed, and not just because she's black or whatever, but because it's her. Whatever things some people might consider to be, you know, not the best, he was all for it, and he accepted every single inch of her and beyond. Like even things that she didn't even realize were a problem, he was like, clocked it, already loved it, good to go. And the pining drove me crazy. It's definitely, so it's friends to lovers, and I feel like maybe I'm tripping. I think that's one of the best ones. There's strangers to lovers, enemies to lovers, haters to lovers, I don't know, but friends to lovers hits, because you know almost for a fact, like I would say a majority of the time, one of them is pining like crazy, and I was eating it up. Like I was like, give me more. It was so good. Within the story, we bounce back and forth between Jasmine and Rahul's past. So we get past them, present them, we get to see how they became friends, and then why they fell in love. And then we also get to see what's stopping them from becoming more. And such a hard rec. It is so good. The spice is gonna be pretty high. I would say medium to high, depending on what you're used to. as a reader, I felt a little bit more seen than I would in some other books that I've read in the past. So yeah, hard recommendation. The Roommate Risk. The next book, literally, I was kicking my feet the whole time, but not for the reasons you think. The next book is going to be The Baby Dragon Café. And obviously, as you can tell from the title, there's gorgeous, beautiful baby dragons within it. And the baby dragons cause a ruckus. They cause lots of things going on in this cafe, but that is not the main point of the story. We are focusing on our set couple. It's a grumpy sunshine story, so that's already really cute. We are shown their friendship and the pining and the desire pretty head on. And with the desire being stated, I will say that it's very low spice. Like, if there is any, it's fade to black from what I can recall. So our main female character, I can't remember her name right now, but she's like the sunny one. She's full of life. She tries to always be positive. She wants a dragon so bad, and our grumpy guy over here is also going through it, and he can't really take care of the baby dragon that he has the way that he wants to. And just by chance, the stars were aligned. He bumped into her. Somebody wanting a dragon so bad, somebody not wanting a dragon. It was perfect. So they made a deal to where she trains his dragon, and from then on, it's history. It was the cutest thing ever. I want my own baby dragon cafe now. I feel like reading this story made me feel so warm, and I will say, because I forgot to mention it, this book, The Baby Dragon Café, does have a sequel coming up, and it's gonna follow, I believe, one of the characters that was also mentioned within the story. So our first book is a standalone, second book is gonna be a standalone, if I'm recalling correctly. Ooh. Next up is gonna be our soft recs. My soft recommendations to y'all. Okay, this first one, I believe, is honestly on the popular side, but I can totally see some people loving or hating it either way. It's gonna be Does It Hurt? Now, this is a dark romance, not fantasy at all, unlike the previous ones mentioned. Actually, The Roommate Risk is romance. There's no fantasy. I totally did not mention that. So our main female character is running away from her past, and she ends up in Australia. She bumps into our illustrious Enzo, I believe his name was. Is that his name? And he's this Italian god, basically, who loves to swim with sharks. And this is not fantasy. It sounds like it's fantasy. But yeah, she bumps into him, this godlike, gorgeous creature. And from then on, you know, they have a good time together, and then she dips and takes something of his with her, and he wants it back. As luck would have it, he ends up bumping into her again, and they kind of go into this whirlwind, chaotic, thriller-esque journey together. And it kind of is not enemies to lovers. I don't know, I feel like when I say enemies to lovers, it's gotta be like you feel the hate for towards each other, and I kind of picture it with like 0 to very, very minimal lust. And I think that's just me being picky, because if you read this story, you're like, they literally hate each other. I don't know what you're talking about. They lusted after each other so hard that it was moot. Like, it didn't matter that he hated her. I mean, it does. It definitely mattered, but part of the reason why they ended up okay was because they lusted after each other so much. If there was no lust, they would not have reconciled, I don't think. Maybe I don't remember the story as properly. I read this towards like the beginning of May. Oh, and let it be known right here, right now, the spice is absolutely high. I don't care how much you read, the spice is gonna be high. And it's explicit. I think this is gonna be my spiciest recommendation out of all the books mentioned. For those of you who couldn't tell, the romance is toxic, obsessive, and if you want to, you could call it enemies to lovers, but I would call it like strangers to, I guess, enemies. Strangers to haters to lovers. Enemies is like different. Okay, although I did read 9 books for the month of May, those are going to be my hard and my only single sad soft recommendations. I hope you enjoyed the video, and hopefully I sort out my recording situation soon. I think I'm either gonna record here a few more times or at my parents'. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely evening, weekend, day, you know.